Yo, what's up, guys? We're gonna run a little live stream tonight. I just decided to go ahead and talk about some topics just live on stream, and then if we get some people fill into the room, we'll we'll discuss some other things from there. But as you see on the title and the thumbnail, I got three main topics I'm gonna talk about tonight. And one of the first ones is going to be body game for skinny guys. Once again, I still have some more that I like to share on the topics. And plus, when I make the videos, a lot of the time I'm like in a rush. I have like other things I need to do. And there are things I cannot elaborate on from just doing the videos that I do. I know, of course, I can sit down and record a long form video. And chances are maybe not everybody will watch the entire thing. And so I just decided maybe I'll do a live stream and we'll run some things this way. And possibly if you're watching the replay, maybe you will run through the different topics. I don't even know how to put timestamps on something like that. Maybe somebody else knows how to do that. But if possible, we'll have some timestamps on the different subjects that I'm going to touch on. So stay tuned if you are interested in any of the different topics or you just want to sit back and chill, hear my opinion on some things. But like I said, the first topic for tonight, we're going to get right into body game, and this is going to be specifically for the skinny guys. And if you're new here, we're going to have to define body game. It's literally just making sure that you take care of your body as much as possible, so that way you are one of the best looking items out here. When you walk out the door, you know it will appeal to everybody, specifically women too. Your body will appeal to more women, so that way you basically draw in more leads. Your body is basically marketing for more leads if you are interested in women, and most guys I know are very interested in women. So that's why I choose to talk about body game. I know it's important, and not the average person is going to build a great physique in their lifetime, but I want you, whoever's watching, to build that physique for yourself. There's so many other things that are benefits of working on your body game. Like it's really more of a mental game as well too, because you have to build yourself from the inside out to really get some results. And so that's why we're going to talk about body game a little bit more. And like I said, it's specifically for the skinny guys. And the reason I want to give out the advice mostly for the skinny guys is not because I don't care about if you're fat or not. Really, you already know what to do if you're overweight too. I'm just going to tell you, I started off as a skinny guy and I don't look really huge right now, and that's okay, because the main thing I want to drive home is the look that I have right now, which you could kind of tell by the way I look now. I mean, I got a little bit of muscle on me, and that's what works for me. So basically look kind of like that. If you've seen any of my other videos, you already know that. And this was a journey, and a lot of you guys are on that same journey right now, where you may want to look similar, or you may want to look bigger or bulkier or whatever it may be. We got to talk about what it takes to get there, like the mindset. We have to talk about the mindset behind it, the actual work you're going to have to put in. I know you sat back, maybe you watched a bunch of YouTube videos already. You've already done a lot of Google search activity trying to get this stuff figured out. And I'm just another source for all of that. Like everybody's going to speak their mind, their opinion a little bit differently. And you're trying to get your body fat to 10%, Johnny. 10%. Oh yeah. Getting your body fat at 10% is it's gonna take a lot of work. It's all about. I tell people this all the time and they don't like to hear it, but I'm a realist. It's gonna take a lot of suffering, man. And but it's suffering for the right reason. Like you're suffering so that way when you get yourself to that level, now you can say that you're putting yourself in another echelon, another league of other people who can't go through the suffering to get what you got, and people will look up to you. There are other men and women, so it's not even just for women, man. Body game is not something that just women notice, and even if you're not attracted to men, because I'm not either, but it still serves you well for other men to respect you. They will respect you a little bit better when just by your appearance, man. This is something I noticed because I didn't do this literally for, I guess, either in the beginning. I didn't start working on my body game because I was like, oh, I need to get more women. I even had a girlfriend at the time, so I wasn't even concerned with that part of it. And my girlfriend was never saying anything about I need to work out, nothing like that. And of course, I didn't do it to get other guys' approval. So I'm telling you, man, when you get the change happen once Other guys started seeing the change in my body and just the way I upheld myself, like the confidence boost I got also. Other guys started treating me like I was a boss, man. And it was crazy because I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, okay, Jackson Clifford's, how long did it take to get to your physique? I'm gonna tell you right now, actually, that's what we're gonna talk about. So, let me finish this last sentence. So I noticed the guys even started giving me compliments. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't even think guys were even going to care. I didn't think other guys looked at other guys' bodies, but not in a way that's gay, honestly. But it's just like I didn't know other guys would actually look up to what I was doing. I was just doing it for myself, and so that's what I'm going to talk about right now. So I'm going to answer Jackson Clifford's answer first, and appreciate you guys watching. Also, if you appreciate all the advice I'm giving or the talks that we have, if you have anything you want to donate, please go ahead and donate to the Cash App. But yeah, so Jackson, how long did it take me to get here? Let's see. I started working out about 2012, 2013, and I look very young right now. I get it, but I was like 23 or 24 at that time. Yeah, like 22, 23. Take it back a little bit. So I was 22, 23 at that time, and I started working out maybe in like May as a 140-pound guy. So Johnny, I was a little bit lower in weight than you, Johnny. I was 140 pounds, but you're shorter. So I started working out then. My first month, I started in May. First month going into June, I didn't get any results. So my first month was wasted. I was looking at a bunch of YouTube videos. I was thinking I was doing what I was supposed to. I was working out at the gym 6 days a week because I was like, man, all you gotta do is hit the gym and grind, and you're gonna get it. Drink a few protein shakes or eat a few protein bars, that type of thing. Whole first month, I didn't see no results. I was so mad. Then I got so mad though. This is the difference now. What it takes. This is what it takes now. Everybody's going to fail at something, and you have already failed with with your goals too. You failed at something already, but the difference is with anybody and anything is what you do after you fail, because we're all going to fail at something, and we're going to continue to fail through life. So once I failed that first month, I used that to get more mad. I used that to get more mad about what was happening, so that way I'm going to grind harder now. Like I said, I got to figure this out. I'm so mad and upset about my results that I'm going to even push harder. I'm going to push through this instead of going the opposite way. So that's the thing you got to remember. You don't back down because you fail. That's where everybody stops at. And that's why some people are still fat. That's why there's people that are whales, because they give up. And I know it's mentally hard, but that's why I'm telling you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, it is hard, but you got to be okay with that. You got to be okay with the fact that it is going to be hard to get to these goals. And so, like, I wasted that first month. I get mad. I say, there's something I'm missing. I'm watching too many videos now. I'm picking up on this. And this is a thing that I know you've probably done as well. You're watching so much content. You're probably watching more videos than you're actually executing any of the information. And that's what I was doing in the beginning. It may not be you per se, but I was looking at videos so much, I'm thinking just because I'm gaining the knowledge, then, oh, the results are going to happen. Then I start realizing I'm missing something. Out of all the information I got, what information do I already have that I'm not utilizing? So after that first month, I look and I realize, you know what? I have been neglecting the stuff that it was talking about with the food, because the food part sounded the least interesting. The gym part sounded more interesting because it's like, yeah, get in the gym, lift weights, look strong, look good in front of other people, whatever. So now I said, you know what? I can't skip this food part. I can't skip it because every video I've seen, they're starting to talk about this more and more. And now I need to pay more attention. So for me, being 140 pounds, my problem was I wasn't eating enough calories to even build the muscle, to build the physique. Like, I wanted to look like a beast, but I wanted to eat like a mouse. And I knew that wasn't going to work. I said, you know what? How about I go ahead and figure this out? Like, I was so determined. This is what I did. I sat down after just a month of working out and failing. By the 6th week, month and a half, I did research on, okay, so you got to track calories, or that helps. I said it helps to track calories. This is what the professional bodybuilders are doing. And I don't need to be a bodybuilder, but these people going to know the most about aesthetics. So I'm looking at them. They tracking calories, they're weighing food. And I haven't made a video about weighing food because, like I said, all the stuff that I'm giving you is going to be more based on my experience. I have weighed food before to track it, but I don't do that at all anymore. But I did do it in the beginning because I was that deliberate. I said, I'm gonna track food. I'm gonna weigh my food. So I bought a food scale from Walmart. It was like $20. Bought the cheapest one I could find because I said I just need something to weigh the food because you don't need to overcomplicate anything. We trying to, and every time we trying to move forward something, we try to make up complicated reasons why, well, of what we need before we start. You don't need to complicate nothing. You don't need to complicate anything. Keep it simple, or you gonna fail anyway. Because if you ain't doing anything, or you're doing something wrong, and now you try to make it harder, how are you gonna get to success? Make it where it's simple to get started, and then as you get a little bit of results, then you complicate it and get a little bit deeper, and then you get a little bit more results, then you complicate it and get deeper. So I sat down and I wrote my own meal plan without really knowing what I was doing. I said I at least know that I got to get to at least, at this time I chose like 2,700. I said based on my weight, I'm like 140. That's what we're about to talk about, Jackson. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, the food is the gift right there. That's it right there. That's how you're gonna capitalize. So we're about to talk about that. So get there. I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna create my own meal plan. And I sat down. I downloaded the app. I looked at my Fitness Pal. Well, that was just one of the ones I found, but there's plenty of calorie tracking apps. Looked it up. I actually went online. I looked at grocery stores online, saw what kind of foods they had. I literally looked up nutrition facts and stuff and started just plugging them into the app. I said, "Ooh, I'll eat that. I'll eat that. Let me plug this into the app and see how many calories and stuff." Start putting it all in the app before I even bought any groceries. And then once I had something that just said 3,000 calories or 2,700, let me not lie, I started like 27. Once it said 2,700, I was like, okay. I'm about to go buy this now. This is what I'm going to eat every day, or at least I got a blueprint now. I got a blueprint, and I just did this on my own. I didn't ask anybody to do it for me. I figured it out. But I mean, it is easier, honestly, if you have other people that know how to do it or like to do it for you. So did that, and then I started eating, and I'm realizing, dang, I can't even eat all this food. And then it started clicking. It was like, oh yeah, now it makes sense. Now I can't even eat 2,700 calories. No wonder. No wonder I'm not gaining weight. I've been eating like 2,200. I was starting to track the calories. I'm like 22, 23, getting full when I'm at 25 and quitting for the day. And I'm like, oh, all right, now I know. So all I did was I pushed a little bit harder. I said, all right, this is uncomfortable, but I don't care. Push a little bit harder. And we're gonna get to those results in a few, Jackson. We're gonna get to those results in a few. I kept pushing a little bit harder, and so then I got so focused, and this is what you're gonna have to remember about anything that you want to be successful with. I got so focused that all I could think about was what I needed to do. All I did was lock my eyes and my mind on the vision. I was so obsessed with eating the right amount of calories every day. And of course, I was still working out. I reduced the amount of time I was working out because I realized if I'm working out 6 days a week, now I'm burning way more calories than 2,700, and I can barely eat 2,700. So I need to drop my workout days. I dropped my workout days to 3 times a week because I realized I can't keep adding more calories I need to eat until I work on this level. That's why you got to start at levels and work your way up. So that's why if you're skinny, you don't need to be in the gym every single day because now you got to work harder now. If you can't eat 2,500 calories, you working out actually is going to make it where you need to eat 3,200 calories. So you way off on your goals. That's why you got to master the eating first while you work out just a little bit. No cardio. Just go ahead and do a little bit of weights. So I built that meal plan. I had my head down. That's what I did. I locked in, did the meal plan. And I was so focused, like a month and a half went by. And then somebody just looked at me one day. They said, "Hey man, you been working out?" Because I wasn't telling nobody. I was just locked in. I wasn't telling nobody, oh, I'm on a fitness journey. This was before Instagram was real popular. Because like I said, it was like 2012. So there was no such thing as fitness influencers all over the place back then on Instagram. But at YouTube, there were fitness YouTubers, like OG fitness YouTubers. So I didn't have a lot to go off except those YouTubers. There was not people posting all over Instagram fitness at this time. If you remember, 10 years ago, Instagram was new at that time. So somebody just came up to me and said, hey man, you been working out? I said, oh shit, he noticing something. I said, yeah. I work out a little bit, and I'm thinking, man, what is he seeing? Because I feel like crap. I don't feel like I'm getting anywhere. He said, man, you starting to look a little bit bigger. You been gaining weight. And so at this time, I spent a month and a half so locked in. I was locked in for a month and a half. I finally got on the scale. I didn't even look at the scale for 6 weeks. That's how much I was so obsessed with the actual actions, doing what I need to do. I was so obsessed with that, I didn't even look at the scale anymore. I was like, am I hitting the calories? Yes or no? If I'm not hitting the calories, I don't care about anything else. I looked at the scale after that guy told me that. I was up 10 pounds. And I'm like, whoa, you telling me this is working? I was so obsessed with it, I didn't even know if it was working or not because I was just doing. I was just doing. That's what I'm saying. I stopped watching the YouTube videos. I just locked in. That's why people didn't even know I was working out because I didn't associate with anybody. I just did what I need to do. Go to work, go to the gym, make my meals, boom, stay on point with it. The only person who I was working out was my girlfriend at the time. And then even then, she didn't even know what level I was going to. She didn't even know I was measuring my food and tracking it, all this stuff. I just shut up and did what I was supposed to do. Saw that I gained those 10 pounds. I said, I'm about to go even harder now. Let's step these calories up. I'm about to move past 2,700, going past it. So then I upped it like 3,200. I said, I can eat food now because your appetite is going to grow. As you get bigger anyway, that's how people end up bigger. Your appetite is going to grow. Your metabolism's going to, sometimes it's going to speed up where you can handle more calories. So now I'm at 32. And I say, all right, let's do this. Now it got a lot bit harder. It got a bit harder. I started eating more, I would say, junk foods because you're not going to get there eating the most clean foods. To be honest with you, it's going to be really hard. That will make it harder. So I was doing the dirty bulk way, which I don't really recommend it for some people, but there are ways you're going to have to cheat to get to those 3,200 calories sometimes, unless you're just an expert at dieting or you want to pay somebody that's gonna really dissect how to get there really healthy. But do you think most bodybuilders are getting to 3,200 or 3,500 or 4,000 calories? That's why you see videos on YouTube and stuff. Do you think The Rock is eating 5,000 calories of clean foods? Do you think most of these bodybuilders are eating all clean foods to get that big? No, it's not impossible, but you would have to eat so much more volume of food that it's not going to be that realistic. It ain't gonna be that realistic. So I did the dirty bulk method, and now the way that my results changed once I started tracking the food, it was tenfold. Once I did the 3,200, Jackson, once I did that 3,200, and it went about like 3 months now. 3 months on me hitting goals, just locked in, working. Like the time was going by so fast because all I cared about was, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? I hit the 3,200 for so long, I shot up. Believe it or not, I shot up 30 pounds in 3 months after I started doing the 3,200. 30 pounds. And now it was to the point where everybody was noticing that they were like at my job because I had to start wearing different clothes now. If you gain 30 pounds, you can't wear the same clothes. Some of the clothes I had fit differently. I literally had to give my clothes away to one of my skinnier friends, like my friend that was actually still skinny. Because I had to buy new clothes, obviously 30 pounds, and this was in 3 months of just sticking to, oh, basically you're overeating to gain muscle. I mean, to be honest with you. So 3 months of that, and people, it was such a big difference. Obviously, people was asking me questions everywhere I went. People at work because they see me work with them for months, and they're like, "Yo, what are you doing?" They start asking for advice. They're like, How did you get your body this way? How did you change like this?" Because I wasn't talking to nobody about it. I wasn't telling nobody I'm working out, but I show up to work every day. I'd have my protein. I have all this food. I used to eat, like I said, I did dirty bulk, which that's gonna be a little bit rough on your body. You might have to do a little mix of eating clean and dirty, to be honest. So I had a bag of brown rice chips because I tried to be somewhat clean. I had brown rice chips. I ate a bag of that every day. Had two protein shakes. I bring those with me to work. I was eating all day. I was working an office job, so I was eating all day while I'm in the office, and I'm working. I work out before I come in the office, eating all day because I was getting them 32 calories no matter what it took. And then so guys started asking me at work, how you get there? Give me some advice. Women started looking like, dang, your arms looking big. How are you, when did you start working out? Like it was everybody because they so used to knowing me looking a certain way. Like my brother, my younger brother, he was so surprised. My brother hadn't seen me because we're kind of like adults at this time. So, sometimes you're not going to be around your family all the time. But me and my brother, we live in the same city, and he hadn't seen me in those 3 months at all. So finally, one day, something happens where I have to meet up with him or see him or whatever, and I'm wearing a tank top like this, and he sees me, and it's nighttime. I'm walking up to like his apartments where he's living, and he's like, "Yo, who is that?" I said, "Hey, it's me." Like I'm walking to him, it's dark, so I'm walking from the dark into the light where he's at. He don't even recognize who the figure is in the dark. I said, "Yo, bro, it's me." And then when I walk in the light, he was so surprised at the way that I look because you wouldn't think somebody could put on muscle like that. He was like, he started laughing. He just bust out laughing like, "Yo, you look stupid with muscle." He said, "Cause I got a nerdy look to me." He said, I could never imagine you with muscle like this, bro." He said, "You look crazy with this on." He's like, "This is wow." He said, "Cause he grew up with me." He like, "Man, you look wow with this muscle on you, bro." He just couldn't do nothing but laugh. And this is why I say that's the importance of you just locking in and focusing. You ain't got to tell everybody what you're doing. You ain't got to try to pull nobody with you. Um, Now, did I do it all completely on my own? No, I actually made friends when I went to the gym. I found guys that were bigger than me. I found guys that were bigger than me, and when I found them, I said, "Yo, what are you doing? Because you're obviously 200 pounds and you got a lot of muscle." There was one guy, he was probably like in his 50s or 60s, muscular, 200 and something pounds. I don't even know. Found two guys like that. Said, "Hey, whatever y'all are doing, I'm going to do it with you. Whenever you come to the gym, you better call me." So I gave them my numbers. I said, "I'm coming when you're coming. I'm doing what you're doing. I'm going to be big like you, or at least I'm going to get bigger." I didn't have aspirations of being as big as those guys. So they said, "Okay, that's fine," because they respected the fact that I wanted to learn, that I wanted to work. And those guys did help with some accountability. That's why I say it's good to get around other men that are going to challenge you. That's the reason why I got this channel. It's good to be about other men that are going to challenge you. Women can't challenge you in the same way that other men will. That you will never be more competitive. It's like sometimes women will help you be competitive, but when you're around other men, we have egos, and in order to match those egos, you got to try to feel like you're better than the other, and that's why male sports are so competitive. You want to be the top dog. So when I was around those guys, you didn't feel good to be the smallest guy. So it's like whatever it takes. One day I'm going to pass them, or one day I'm going to look better than them. And so it was good that they held me accountable. Like they go to the gym, we all hit each other up. Where you at? We here at 6 a.m. as soon as the gym open, because we were doing like the basic gym at the time, which was Planet Fitness. I started off there, and they made sure we was there 6 a.m. as soon as the gym opened. We there when the person opening unlocking the doors. If I was slacking, they'll hit me up. They'll say, or they'll see me in the gym. I'm doing my set. They'll say, "You ain't been eating." I could tell. They'll say, "What's your weight?" I'll be like, "Oh, I'm at 165." They'll be like, "Yeah, you ain't eating. I could tell. You look too small." And that's what you need. You need other guys that's gonna hold you accountable. And of course, it made me feel bad, but it's like in a good way. Like, dang, they calling me out. I know, yeah, they're right. I hadn't been eating my calories because I wouldn't be at 165. They'd be like, "How are you at the same weight? This is the same weight you was at last week. What are you doing?" And so many guys, they're soft nowadays. They can't take any criticism. Like I'm the type of person that if you slay me with criticism, now I'm mad enough where I'm gonna prove you wrong or I'm gonna get better. Yeah, locking in, Johnny, because you distracted. Other people are distracted. They're distracted. That's why you can't get nowhere. I'm not saying you. I don't know anything about you, but I'm saying that's most people. You can't get nowhere because you're not locked in. You TikTok then. You looking at other stuff. You watching Netflix. You trying to keep up with the latest shows. You talking about House of Dragon with other people. I don't care about what's going on in House of Dragon. Like while other people, whatever. This is a Friday night right now. Think about it. This is a Friday night. There's nothing wrong with going out and having fun, but which one is more important at this particular time in your life? Is the fun or the goals? The fun or the goals? Because now when people were out partying, doing whatever, going out to eat, going all these places, going bowling, I'm at the gym on a Friday night, and I'm happy to be. This is how I was back then. I was at the gym on Friday night because it's like I got to get to where I need to go. I'm locked in. I don't care what everybody else doing. I don't care what show's popping right now. I'll get to that later when it is time to have fun. And that's where you got to be with it. You can't you can't sit here and try to keep up with the normal people and then don't you want to be better than average. You're going to be normal if you do what all the other normal people do. If all the other normal people are watching Netflix and keeping up with shows and all this other stuff, go ahead and be them. Go ahead and be them, but don't be mad when you are down there on that level with them and you see other people rising. The other people rising don't even know a lot of the most popular things in pop culture. That's why you can see interviews with a lot of famous people and they'll say, "Oh, do you know this person?" It's like, I don't know who that person is or what they do because if you locked in, you ain't got time for that. Like, you ain't got time for that. And so that's why I say like the results, Jackson, man, that changed my whole body, man. Like people start asking me questions every day. Family, friends, work people, women. Okay, so the women, of course, I remember a woman at my job at that time. She knew my girlfriend. She knew my girlfriend. She didn't work with her, but she knew my girlfriend, and she was still hitting on me. Like actually, this was more than one. More than one girl did this. So now we're gonna get into some interactions with women a little bit. The woman saw me in the hallway. She grabbed my arm. She was like, "Dang, when did you get like this?" Because I had, you got to change your clothes, fix your style so that the clothes fit your body the right way. Now that's the perk of getting fit. You find clothes that just fit right. She said, "Dang, when you get arms like this?" And I'm frozen because I'm like, "Oh, hold up, you know my girl, ain't it? Like, what you doing?" She didn't care. She didn't care. I had to slow down. I said, "Hey, no, I gotta leave you alone. You gonna get me in trouble. You gonna get me in trouble. I can't answer none of your questions. You know, you don't want to be a sleazeball now out here messing with women. Like I get you want abundance, but sometimes, hey man, don't you can't be so desperate that you just gonna take anything that come your way. She had a nice body on everything, but I was like, nah man, I'm good where I'm at. And so another woman at my job, she was like, man, you a personal trainer? Exactly. That karma ain't no joke. You think you having fun for right now. You having fun because you can't control your desire. And you don't see you might see some guys talk about it, but you don't see a lot talk about it on YouTube. But controlling that desire, man, is going to be more beneficial to you. You need to hold in your masculine energy. You actually have better options when you know how to turn down women because now you just choose when it's time for you to choose one, you can just choose one because they literally be waiting for you, bro. They be waiting for you when you're ready. Sometimes they move on and talk to other dudes, but when they can see that you are powerful and who you are, they will always circle back around or be available at another time. Trust me. The other guys ain't gonna last if they ain't as real as you. So that's why they might go to some guy now and then play around, whatever happens, 6 months, the guy ain't real as you, boom, fall out. Then they're gonna hit you back up. Hey, what you doing? What's been up with you? I got a text like that yesterday. I ain't respond to it because most women hit me up to hang out with me. All of them, they made comments about how they like my body, all this stuff. I just shrug it off. One girl I was with today, she said, "So I see you got the guns out today." I said, "Oh, okay, it's whatever, you know." I said, "I still got work to do. I got a lot of work to work on. I ain't at the level I want to be at." So I just shrug it off. And then she got my time today because I chose to let her get my time. She hit me up. She say, "Hey, what time are we gonna meet up?" She asked me a previous day, "Hey, can we meet up on Friday or whatever?" I said, "Yeah." So she hit me up today. She said, "What time are we gonna meet up?" And you got to be direct when you communicate with women. I just gave her the time. I just shot her the text with the time, and it was boom. That was it. Like boom. We're gonna meet at this time. She said, "All right." Don't be sitting here asking all these questions, trying to figure out what their schedule is. I don't even have to ask what her schedule is. I didn't have to ask, "Oh, when do you get off work? When are you free?" She asked, "When can she come enter to my world?" I tell her. If she can't fit that time, she misses out because I'm gonna move on with my day. And you got that's what I'm saying. Some of this stuff it gives you that advantage when you work on your body game because they're not gonna mess with a lot of guys that are on your level, and that's why mentally it's gonna get you to that level too. Mentally, it will help get you to that level. It's not in a way that you got to be very arrogant or anything like that, but you do build up a certain level of confidence. People treat you better, like I already explained. Like men, women, they start treating me better. They start treating me with more respect, like right off the bat. Like sometimes when I go certain places, if my clothes fitting right and stuff, guys be calling me boss, all this other stuff, and I'm going just any place, get gas, get food, blah blah blah. Not because I'm like not because I'm anything extra, but that's like you could tell a guy wouldn't call you that if they didn't respect you in some type of way, even though they don't know me. That's what I'm saying. For guys that don't even know you, like regular places, I go shopping anywhere. They be like, "Hey, what's good, boss?" and blah blah blah. They have other different terms they'll say. You go other places, women talking to you a certain kind of way. Now, I don't count that too much when you're going somewhere and a woman's at work. Like if you go somewhere and you're with a waitress and they're treating you well, I mean they're working. So some of that you can't really count. But yeah, Ron Wills put you on the body game and it's life changing. Yeah, body game. That's I got the term from Ron Wills, just so you know. So shout out to Ron Wills. It's not something I'm really trying to steal from him, but the reason why I use the term is because it's something that guys will recognize, and it's only smart to use a term that's going to put us all together so that we can get in the right rooms and talk to each other about something that we all believe in. So I don't even know if Ron Wills actually came up with it, but I definitely know his channel is very popular for those different terms. And my homie, one of my best friends, he put me on Ron Wills about 2 or 3 years ago. I was hanging out with him. And he said, "Yo, man, check out this YouTuber Ron Wills." And at first, I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching Rom's content. And I said, okay, this is different from the other men's content I've been watching. I was so used to watching content that was exciting from other men that I thought that was the only way to do it. Then I saw Rom and I was like, man, he's first time he showed me Rom's. I said, his content a little dry. But then I sat back and thought about it. I started watching more videos that night when I was going to bed. I spent the night at his house. I went back up to the bedroom that he had me up in there. I had my own room. And I'm looking at these videos. I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what I need. I said, it's no nonsense with this. He's just talking. He talking about what he know, experiences, and that's it. It ain't no flash or nothing to it, and it don't gotta be. And that's when it opened my mind to it. I was like, but this is how a real man should operate though. You don't have to do all that other stuff. I understand why you would do it. Yeah, it's gonna attract more viewers, subscribers, all that stuff. But I said, yeah, man, that is let me make sure I got the live chat going because I think some of y'all stuff is coming in a little bit late. But yeah. Anyway, I was like, Rom is real, and I need some different varieties. I need a variety of somebody that's just real, and that's all they care about. So yeah, when you start to work on your voice and conversations with women, was it always good, or how did you improve? That's always been an improvement, man. I was not always good with that. I got lucky. I'm not gonna lie, and I'll be honest, like my looks may not be the highest, like in any situation around any circle, but there's so many aspects of you as a man that's gonna make you be attracted to a lot of women, regardless. Um, Even like you say, your confidence, your body, of course, like your facial structure, all that other stuff, your status, social circles you're in can. That's what helped me when I was younger. So that way, that's what I mean. But I got it a little bit easier is my conversations with women were not the best, but over time I started building it up. And that came from just dealing with more women. That's all guys have to do. You have to deal with more women and be okay with talking with women till you get comfortable. Till you get comfortable, you start seeing how they think, understanding how they like to be communicated to. And some every woman could be a little bit different now, but for the most part, there is similar blueprints that do work for most women, or similar concepts of you as a person that will be attractive to women. So yeah, for me, when I first started out really getting into women, of course, high school, um, I gained a lot of social status that helped me out in the beginning, but that opened the door. So everybody's going to have one thing that's going to lead them to it. So I had social status because I started dancing out of nowhere. Like going into my 10th grade, my 10th grade year, I had a friend who he was really good at dancing. And one day I saw him. I said, "Hey man, can you show me how are you doing this pop lock and stuff? And you gliding like Michael Jackson?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna show you how I do this." And he showed me some moves. I wasn't really serious about it at the time. I'm shaking the desk, but I wasn't really serious. And then I practiced. I went home and practiced. And next day I came up to him, or about a week, I came up to him and said, "Hey man, I practiced some of those moves." And I showed him. He said, "You know what, man? You actually can dance a little bit. All you need is a little bit more training." So he called some girls over from the cafeteria. He said, "Hey man, look, Tavar can dance." And he put me on the spot. So everybody's like, "Go ahead and dance." I'm like, "Oh dang, I don't really know how to dance." So I showed them a few moves, and they was like, "Yo, he can really dance a little bit." So now that gave me a little ego boost. I said, "Whoa, if these girls liking this, maybe I should put in some more time because I like the girls like him. The girls liking him, and he's a good dancer. He's popular." So I said, "Let me follow what he's doing then." So I used social status in the beginning. Me and him, we got together. We actually put together a talent show performance. He got me to compete with him in the talent show. It was just me and him. We went through the talent show, my first talent show. We won it. We won the talent show. He taught me how to dance. We spent months practicing, and we won the talent show. My first ever time performing, dancing, anything in front of a lot of people. And even that night, while I was doing the talent show, he was, like I said, he was a popular guy. So he had to, once we did our performance, he had to go into the back to get ready for the step team's performance. He was on the step team and everything. So he had to go, and he left me. And I was actually still on stage after our performance because the people in the school were calling for an encore. They were calling for an encore. And one of my homegirls was hosting the show. She was the hostess. And she said, "Oh, so y'all want more?" And I'm like, "They can't get more because he's back there getting ready for the step team. I'm sitting here on stage by myself." She's like, "Oh, y'all want more? Y'all want more?" She was like, "All right, DJ, turn the music back on." And I'm like, "Oh, you know what I'm saying?" Like, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. So they turned the music back on. We were listening to some Sean Paul at the time. So we had learned a little bit of reggae, mixed it in with some hip hop, stuff like that. Turned that back on. I'm up here doing whatever I know how to do, and a chick from the crowd that went to our school, she ran up on stage to dance with me in front of everybody. And like she started doing like some, she was like from New York or something, so you know they got a mixed culture up there. She jumped on stage, she was like, grinding and stuff like that, and I'm just going along with it because I'm like, oh, I don't want to look stupid, so I'm going along with it. My mom in the crowd, and I'm like, oh shoot, my mom watching this. I'm like 16, girl grinding on me, and everybody's loving it. We doing reggae stuff together. And then that's where it started. So talent show ends. They say, "Oh, we're the winners," because everybody loves us. They ain't nobody get no encore. We got an encore, and I was literally the only one that gave them the encore with a special guest. A girl jumped up on stage to dance with me, and this was a girl that a lot of people in school thought was attractive. She was a very tall, model-like type body. She wasn't overweight, nothing like that. And after the talent show, I'm talking to people. They so amazed because they're like, "Man, I didn't even know you had talent like this. I didn't know you danced when you started doing this." And the social status hit immediately. Like it was crazy. This was the first time I ever got any taste of this. Social status hit immediately. A chick walked up to me. She said, "Hey, I'm gonna be coming to your school next year. Take my number." I'm like, "For what?" She's like, "I want to talk to you." I'm like, "Yo, like that." So that's what I'm saying. That's the example. I didn't need conversation skills in that situation. So that's another thing too. Like you may have other things that are gonna help you get to certain points. Like if you build up social status, you can literally build it up in a small social circle. Of course, like something like high school is easier. So that's where it started. She just gave me her number, and over the summer we started dating. Now, when that happened, she wasn't the only girl that came up to me that night, but at the time I was like, all right, well, I don't want to get too crazy, so um, I just took her number. After people saw and I started talking to her because she was attractive. Guess what happened? Now the social status rose me higher because now I'm talking to an attractive girl. I'm a popular person around the school because I can dance well, and she's one of the only girls that was able to get to me. So now it raises my status even higher. So now I don't have to do any work to get other, I guess, prospects or leads. Like they start coming to me. Like literally while I was talking to her, other girls started expressing interest to me, and I eventually just broke up with the girl after a while because I realized I didn't really want to be with her. I was just taking what came to me at that time, and then it took me a few months to realize, okay, I'm gonna back off. And the chick was absolutely in love with me, so I did feel like a dirtbag at the time, but I was just trying to be honest. She was like madly in love with me more than I was, so I had to break it off because it just, if it don't match up, I'm not gonna lead somebody on. So as soon as I broke up with her, how about her friends, one by one, not all at one time. One friend came to me and it was like, you know what? I always wanted to talk to you. Um, I'm glad you kind of broke up with old girl. And I'm sitting here thinking, ain't you? Y'all still friends though? I see y'all hanging out. What you doing? I ain't ask her that, but I'm thinking in my head. But me, at the same time, I'm like, I'm in high school. I don't care about this. So she hit me up. She said, hey, let's come over to my house. Let's hang out. I said, all right. So start hanging out with her. Like I'm saying, like it didn't require a lot of conversational skills. Granted, yeah, I did have to talk to these women sometimes in between all that stuff, but literally, like, you get most of the leverage by them coming to you or putting yourself in a position where they want you before you even know about them sometimes. And that comes from social proof. Building yourself up, putting yourself around other people will talk about you, and then they come to you. So that girl came to me. Eventually, I didn't do anything with her. Actually, the funny thing was, we were getting to that point after like a few times talking, all that stuff. I was at her house one day. I think we even skipped school this day. So that's what, because that's the only time you could do stuff like that when you're in high school. We skip class, skip school. I'm sitting on the couch watching BET. She's in the shower getting ready for you know. And as soon as we go in her bedroom, she get dressed. I mean, she don't get dressed, but we go in the bedroom, start messing around, getting straight to it. Like I'm literally at the point where I'm about to, enter, you know, and her big sister comes home in the middle of it, like right before I get to. I'm like, whoa! So we hurry up, you trying to get dressed, blah 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 blah, and sit down acting like we just talking on the bed, all innocent. And she's like, yo, what are y'all doing? And like your hormones up, your adrenaline rushing, your heart beating, you kind of feel like you sweating a little bit. We sitting there like, yo, we ain't doing nothing. That's awesome. I love Jackson. You said that's awesome. You love when they do what, man? Yeah, Jackson. Oh, yeah. So she said, what are y'all doing? We just sitting there breathing hard. Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, Big Sis ruined it. I'm like, you know, I'm like, dang, I skipped class for nothing. That's I was like, I'll skip class for nothing. I should have been in school making these straight A's. But nah, so that messed it up. And that whole situation turned me off so much. I was like, yo, I ain't even about to try to come over to this chick house again. Yeah, the friend. The friend wanted me too. So that wasn't the only friend. So now I stopped dealing with her because I'm like, after that situation, I can't I don't want to jeopardize anything because she can't come anywhere to any my house or nothing. So that was my only shot. And now that her big sister's kind of on to me, and she had a bigger brother, an older brother that went to her school, to our school, that knew me. I'm like, oh heck nah. I was just trying to sneak in, sneak out, whatever. I said I ain't about to risk it. So that's what you gotta learn to mitigate risks. It ain't worth it all the time, guys. It ain't worth it. I know you want to get to it, but you're gonna have to be smart too. So I backed off. Next thing you know, another friend, another one, DJ Khaled. I need a soundboard or something. Maybe I'll get that once I upgrade one day. Another one came up. She said, "Hey, now since we're in high school, this one was a virgin." She said, "Hey, um, hey, you want to hang out? You live in my neighborhood, right?" I said, "Yeah, I do." I wasn't thinking nothing about her. I didn't think I had a chance. Like sometimes when you minding your business, that's when they come to you. When you out there trying to get them, you making it harder for yourself, to be honest. And most of the time, so like the social proof, I just most of the situations they came to me. wasn't going out there just saying, "Hey, I'm about to try to get this chick. I'm about to." No, they came to me. So she said, "Hey, what you doing? You want to come? You want to come out and hang out at my house? I know you stay in my neighborhood." I said, "Yeah, sure." Came to her house, started figuring out what it was. I said, "Dang, so this chick want me too." But don't you know my ex? Like every time in my head, I'm like, "Ain't you cool with my ex though?" Like I know I see y'all hang out, and so they ain't care nothing about that. Got to her house. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That's why you don't. And that high school stuff, man. I had so much bad luck. I had so much bad luck. I went to her house a few times. Tried to go when her family went to church. She stay home from church. She tell her parents or something. Tell her parents or her sister that she feeling sick. So then I just walk down the street. Boom, boom, boom. Walk down the street, go to her house. So we about to get to it. Something happened. Big sister, once again, another big sister. That's why I ain't no. That's why I said after that, I was like, no more big sisters. Her big sister come home, and I knew her big sister, so I was like, I know she don't want to. She can't catch us, cause that big sister catch us. Ah, it's gonna. She gonna tell some things. She gonna cause some havoc. So big sister come home once again, and this time I wasn't as close as the other one. I was still like doing the setup. I was in the setup process, so I knew like I felt them, I felt her and everything, so I knew what level she was on down there. I'm like, oh man, and nah, sister came home again, different girl. So I said, man, I ain't about to risk this one either. I'm about to back off because now the difference is now once I got an abundance, you can make decisions. You don't have to because you like, nah, I know another one's probably going to come back around soon. I know there's going to be another opportunity soon. And that's why I say you got to build yourself up in multiple ways, so that way you'll get to a point where, oh, I don't have to worry about if one walks away or something bad happened with this one or whatever. It's just gonna be what it is, and that takes a lot of confidence to be in that position. That's why this channel here is for you. It's for you guys to be men to understand having confidence, focus on yourself. You're gonna get what you want anyway if you are concerned with dealing with women regardless. Because this started in high school, and most of my life continued that way because now I already built myself up to a point where I knew how I was. Like, I'm not saying that I never got to some point where I've had ways that I was, on the softer side. I made plenty of mistakes now. Don't get me wrong. I made plenty of mistakes. We can get into those eventually. But most of the interactions with women, man, the best ones were the ones where they know a little bit about me. They kind of come at me. That's where you're gonna get most of your her friend wants you too. Yeah, most of them they're gonna and come to you. Now, that's social stats. So when I started building up my conversation skills, were there any girls who tried to ruin your life? Yeah, in high school. And shout out to everybody that's watching. Like I said, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to donate to the Cash App, wherever it's at, blah blah blah. Boom, it's right there. But don't forget to donate to the Cash App and support me, so I don't have to sit here and talk with the Burger King headset in the near future, which I don't mind. It has decent audio quality, honestly. I just use this for work when I work at home. But yeah, there were some girls who tried to ruin my life, but honestly, I did some sleaze bag stuff when I was in high school. Um, I was in high school and I had this one girl who was she was like real home girl, you know. I wasn't thinking about her in no dating type thing or nothing like that, but she was there. And she lived in my neighborhood, so she was homegirl because she played video games and stuff like that. Like she was the type that she'd get involved. Like if you guys wanted to go do something, she'd come along with us. I was hanging out with her a lot, so had her as a friend. And then I got on the internet young. I was like 14, 15 when I started getting on the internet and doing like chat rooms and all that stuff. I started meeting up with girls from other high schools in my city around 16, while that other girl was my like best friend. And one day I met a girl that went to another high school, and we started talking and started dating. And I kid you not, the exact same day, or at least the next day after I started dating the girl from the other high school, um, let's give them some names so that way you would know who I'm talking about. So the girl that went to the other high school, her name was Sierra. Sierra went to a different high school. The homie that went to my high school and she was in my neighborhood, her name was Brittany. You know, give them a generic name. Change up the letters too, so y'all can't find them. But Sierra went to the other high school. Brittany went to my high school. So literally a day after, it had to be a day after, I started dating Sierra. Brittany was talking to me at school. Some kind of conversation comes up where she's laughing at my jokes like usual and stuff. And then she opens herself up a little bit. She's like, you know what? You know, I kind of had a little bit of feelings for you, but I know if it probably it would mess stuff up. And I'm like, hey, I was like, nah. I said, I know what you're talking about though. I said, when I be hanging out around you, so I started getting soft right here. I was like, yo, when I'm hanging out around you, I felt something too. I was getting a little soft with her, you know, come down to her level. She said, oh, really? I said, mm-hmm. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say nothing too, because I was thinking the same thing like you. Like maybe we might mess something up if we try to date. And most of the times you will, guys. If you got somebody that's like locked in like that, where they like homie, y'all been friends like that, you will mess up stuff. That's why you hear it all the time. So she got so curious now because she's like, oh dang, well he's actually interested in me. And that's where you want to be, guys. You want to be in the position so that way they get surprised when they finally find out that you are interested in them. Not the other way around, like where they get scared and run away. They should be surprised that you like them too. They like you first. That's the goal. So she said, "Dang, since you like me too," she started opening up a little bit. She's like, "Should we try it?" You know. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Yo, I ain't never think I could date her." I'm like, "Yeah, let's try it." Now in my head, like I said, sleaze bad, but I'm a teenager. You gotta learn. So this is the beginning. This high school. As an adult, I ain't do nothing like this. So Sierra, I'm already dating Sierra, and I'm having this conversation with the new girl, Brittany, my homegirl, Brittany. Next day, I said, "Yeah, let's lock it in. Let's do this." You know how it was in high school. You just jump in relationships. You like, "Yeah, we boyfriend girlfriend, we dating now." So started dating Brittany while I'm dating Sierra. Yeah, we lock it in, and I'm dating. I look like a trucker or something with this little thing. Okay, but anyway, we dating, and the funny thing about my mom knew because I wasn't really working at that time. Not I didn't make a lot of money. No, I did start working. I started working at 14, but I wasn't making a lot of money. So my mom was actually helping me support my girlfriends. But she wasn't like fully in my support, but she understood like how things work when you're raising kids. She was like, Valentine's, no, first thing that came up, we started dating in the fall, so Christmas came up. I said, hey, mom, I need your help. I got to buy Christmas present for both girls. And she's like, what? You dating two girls? I'm like, yeah, help me. I need your money. And she was like, yo, this is crazy. She said, yo, look, this one's going to backfire on you. But well, yeah, we'll go to the store and get them some gifts. But this is gonna backfire. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. You better figure this out. I'm like, all right, cool. So we went to the store. Boom, this one's for her. I'm explaining to each some characteristics of each girl. Yeah, she's gonna like this one. Sierra's gonna like this one because of that and that. She really into that. And I say, yeah, Brittany, you already know Brittany because Brittany comes over the house. She's gonna like that one. So I said, all right, I'll help you. I'll give you a little bit of money to get both of them presents. But like I said, she said, I'm gonna laugh when it comes back to you. You know, so I started getting a little bit scared. Now I'm like, it's about two months past, and when it finally came Christmas, now I'm like, uh-oh, because now they're trying to set up when they're gonna see me on Christmas. Yeah, she was cool for helping me out, but she was still real with me. So like she made me make my own mistakes, because really in life, that's what you gotta do with people. You will tell them, you give them game, but don't be trying to stop them. Like, hey, bruh, if you drink alcohol and drive, you probably gonna, boom, you're gonna exit the reality. You're gonna exit virtual reality if you drink alcohol and drive. But no, actually, you should try to stop them in that situation. That's too extreme. But you get what I'm saying. If there's other situations in life that are not that extreme, sometimes you just let them bump their head, man. Let them bump their head. All right, but that first situation, yeah, alcohol, yeah, go ahead and stop them for real. So anyway, my mom support me. Now the girl's asking, yo, so Christmas break is this day, this day. When are we gonna meet up and exchange gifts? And then the other one hit me up, when we gonna meet up and exchange gifts? I'm like, dang, it's only one Christmas day. So I say, okay, you get the morning time, you get 10 a.m. Boom, you're gonna get 5 p.m. Come over to my house at that time. We're gonna exchange gifts and we're gonna hang out for an hour. So set it up that way. Your mom is hella controlling. Never even told her whenever I was doing anything with any girl, I had to learn to be very secretive. Yeah, I mean, everybody's gonna have different relationships with their parents. I get that for sure. And I think one reason why my mom was so relaxed is because I didn't have any trouble in school. I participated in activities. I had good grades, so she kind of trusted me as like a responsible kid for the most part. So she just kind of let me do whatever I wanted in a way, in a way. And so yeah, I get that though. Yeah, your mom, parents could be controlling. Sometimes they're doing it, out of the greatness of their heart. They don't know. But anyway, Christmas come, I got away. I got away scot free on Christmas. I'm like, yeah, boom, I saw both of them. They don't know nothing. Yeah. And one of the girls was actually a model. She was, as a teenager, she was a teenage model, which that's not common that you're going to meet girls like that or date girls like that, I guess. I didn't see a lot of people that did that, but the Sierra was a teenage model, and her parents made a lot of money, and she made a lot of money. And by this time, I'm just meaning over six figures was a lot of money to me at the time because my parents were like middle class and over six figures that she was making her own money as a teenager as well. I figured that, oh, she got a lot of money. So I like that about her. Honestly, I think one time I stole money from her because she was so rich and she didn't even notice it. I stole $10 out of her butt pocket when I was giving her a hug. She was at my house and we're hugging and I'm grabbing the back pockets. I'm like, oh, I feel some cash up in I feel some cash up in there. So I slid my hand in. Oh, boom, boom, grab a 10. I was like, yeah, she ain't gonna know. So she left. And honestly, I don't think she cared. Like, she was very bougie. Well, maybe not bougie. She just lived a different lifestyle. She'll call me after school. She'll be like, yeah, I'm in the mall getting some new J's. I'm like, you just randomly getting new J's on a school day? Like, what you doing? Like, she's like, oh, yeah, I'm just in the mall getting this. Always spending money. Always out somewhere. So that was Sierra. And then Brittany, she was like the hometown girl, like the home girl next door. Like, just like perfect. There was nothing really wrong. There was nothing really wrong with her. She didn't have that amount of sex appeal like a model type chick, but they always like the girl next door is always that type like you probably should just try to marry anyway when they get older. So that's what I was working with. So months go by now and I got my cousin. One of my cousins, we hang out every single day and I'm in high school. I'm like, yo, I got to get out of this situation, bro. I got to find some way to break up with one of these girls. I was like, tell me which one. How do I pick? He said, "Man, I don't know." He said, let's weigh out the benefits, the pros and the cons." He's like, "Who loves you more?" I said, "I don't know," because I said the rich girl Sierra, she act like she loved me more. Like she's very clingy, and I kind of like it. Like she would cry if I was going to do something fun with my homeboys because she wanted to be with me. And of course, I didn't know at that time that that was really bad, a bad sign. But I was like, dang, that's flattering. She want to be around me so bad that she's crying because I'm going to hang out with my homeboys. And then, the other one was very just chill. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you want to come over play some Gears of War? Sure. You want to come play Halo tonight? Sure. So me and Brittany, very chill. So I was like, dog, I can't pick one. I can't pick one. All right, Jackson, you say I come from a religious family, so they wanted me to wait until marriage, but I don't really believe in that. That's interesting. We're gonna have to talk about that. Waiting until marriage. What do I think about that? We're gonna get to that in a second. I'm about to tell you how I messed up with these girls, because now it's about to come to a finale on this. I'm about to come to a finale. This is my first real lesson I learned on like how to deal with women in relationships. This was the first real lesson right here, other than the social status. So told my cousin, man, help me pick one. He said, man, I can't help you. He said, I like both of them too, because he hung out with me all the time. I said, man, I got to get rid of one. Every day I'm coming to him. Which one you think now? Which one you think now? He said, I can't help you. He said, you got to get rid of one. He said, you got to choose and you got to do it quick. I said, I know. because I can't keep doing this. Like, that's another thing about men trying to live these double lives and relationships. I actually don't support that, honestly. Now, if you're gonna be doing it lying like I was in high school, I don't support it because you doing so much work, it's taking so much of your energy and time. It's stressful. It's not even actually as beneficial as you think. It is stressful. Like you trying to please two girls, you buying presents for two and three girls, like meeting, trying to meet up secretly. It's no point, bro. I really don't support that for men. Like I know you might like that idea, guys. There is one way to do it, but we can talk about that later. There is one way to do it, but this is it's not. That's not the way to do it. You when you got to sneak around, you're using up so much of your energy and just lying, bro. It ain't worth it in the end. I'm gonna tell you why. So one day I go. I was actually in marching band. I was a band geek. I've always been like nerdy, obviously, but I was still popular because of the social status. I'm in the band room chilling, and one of Brittany's friends, no, actually one of Sierra's friends that went to my school, came up to me and started asking me questions. She said, "Hey, you and Brittany still together?" I said, "Yeah." Why you ask that? She was like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just wondering." And I'm thinking, yo, this is weird. I don't really talk to her like that. Why she just walk up to me and start asking me? And I'm not thinking nothing at the time, but at the time, she has her cell phone kind of like this. I'm not paying attention. She's holding it lower though, like you couldn't see it. Like she's holding it lower, like she's talking to me, and her cell phone's like this, down at her waist while she's talking to me. I'm thinking she's just looking down at her phone like normal. So then I'm like, man, that was weird. Later on that night, I'm supposed to meet up with Sierra, the chick that don't go to my high school. I'm supposed to meet up with her at her Bible study because that was one meeting place we had that, was a good alibi for my parents. Hey, I'm going to Bible study tonight. But I was really going to hang out with my girlfriend that was going to Bible study. Went there, and Sierra was like, hey, I got something to ask you. She walked up to me while I'm with my cousin. She said, do you know a girl named Brittany? And nah, why you ask that? She said, "Cuz I got a video of this girl saying that you date Brittany." I said, "Nah, that ain't me." I said, "I don't know what video you got." So then she was like, "Hold on, let me go get my phone so I can show you. Let me go get my phone out of my purse." So I'm sitting in the little church or the chapel, whatever, and I'm like, my cousin, I'm looking, I'm like, "Yo, bro, hey, she about to come back with the phone. What do I do?" I said, "What do I do?" And the reason why I turned him, I was turning consultant to him for one reason. He was really good at lying, like professional liar. Like he got us out of so much trouble with lies that I depended on him. I was like, "Bro, you are expert at lying. What do I say?" He said, "Yo, bro." He said, "Stick to the lie." He said, never waver. Stick to the lie, no matter what she say." I said, "That's good advice, man." I said, "I see you do that. I've seen you do that before. Stick to the lie." I said, "It works for you all the time." He even got us out of trouble when we skipped class one time and got caught. His lies was that good. So anyway, she walks back to me, my heart pumping. I don't know why I didn't leave at the time, but of course I knew like, oh, if I leave, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna blow my cover. So I'm just sitting there, man. I'm like, my legs wanna run. I'm just trying to stay stoic, stoicism. Like, yeah, I ain't phased. She walked up. She said, "All right, look at this. Look at this video." Boom. She started playing it. I'm looking at the video. It's under my chin now because remember the girl did it low angle, so I wouldn't know. The video's under our chin angle, and you could hear audio and everything. She's asking me the question, and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I date Brittany." And she said, "All right, now, so that's not you." And then I went back to what my cousin said. I said, "Yo, stick with that lie. Stick with that lie." I said, "Nah, that ain't me." I'm looking at the video with her. Nah, that ain't me. I try to. You can't overreact too. I noticed when my cousin tell us, he never overreact. So I said, "Nah, that ain't me." She said, "So this ain't you." I'm looking at it. This is your face. These glasses look like yours. Chin looks like yours. Nah. She said, "All right, I'm about to call her." I'm like, oh. Now I'm trying not to, like your body's moving on the inside, but on the outside, I'm like stoicism. Like I'm trying to, But she's dialing the chick now. The chick that gave her the video. She's calling her. Let's call her. Yo, the chick ain't answer the phone. I was like, yes, yes. Now I'm about to leave now. Now I had to flip it. I'm like, oh, see, you on some BS, man. You trying to, I told you I ain't do nothing now. You trying to accuse me. You trying to call this chick. I'm about to ride, man. Hey, cuz, you ready to go? He's like, yeah, yeah, let's go. She's like, nah, nah, stay here. And I was like, nah, you tripping. So I just left. I don't think, yeah, I think I got away. But at that point, I was in too deep. This how I blew up right here. This how I blew up. I'm at the house. It's about a few days done passed, 2 or 3 days done passed. So now the women gathering research on the background. I ain't know that. They gathering research. They very calculated, man. Very calculated. They know what they doing. By the time they reach you and ask you a question, they know all the answers, man. They know answers that you wouldn't even know. That's why you gonna fail the test by the time they come to you. So anyway, I'm at home. My mom and her boyfriend, cause she had a boyfriend at the time. My mom and her boyfriend, they're at home with us. I'm watching wrestling with my mom's boyfriend in their bedroom. My mom's in the kitchen cooking. The phone rings. I didn't answer it. I mean, I'm usually not getting that many calls. So my mom answers the home phone in the kitchen, and then she just starts busting out laughing. She says, "Yo," she calls her boyfriend. She's telling her boyfriend, "Yo, come here." My boyfriend goes around in the kitchen. He's gone. I'm just continue watching wrestling. I'm like, okay, what the heck they laughing at? All of a sudden, I start hearing both of them howling, laughing, cracking up. And then so I'm like, what's going on? Turn down the volume so I could listen. They're like, yo, Tavar. They said, come here. They said, come here. I said, oh, shoot, what's going on? I get the phone, and kid you not, as soon as I touched the phone, and I said, hello, it was just cuss words, calling me everything, all at the same time. Like it was literally three girls on the phone at one time. They three-way called my house, and all of them just exploded through the phone. And my mom and her boyfriend sitting there looking at me. They laughing while it's happening, and they all I heard was cussing and calling me all kind of names. I just hung up immediately. I was like, hello. Like they just ate me up immediately. I said, boop, click. I said, hey, don't pick up for them again. Don't if you don't pick up for those numbers again. I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. I'm not available. So they tried calling a few more times. They didn't pick up. But my mom boyfriend was cracking up. My mom was like, see, I told you. I told you, son. Like that junk's gonna come back. So um what happened was there was somehow, even though the girls went to two different high schools, there were at least two other girls that knew both people somehow from both high schools, and they helped them set it up. They helped them set it up. So when I went to school the next day, I literally rode the bus with Brittany, and I'm like, dang, Brittany was a good girl, and I did this to her. And she's gonna be on the bus. She probably gonna be crushed. I said this ain't like her to be like no wild chick. So I said I don't know what kind of backlash I'm gonna get because she very chill. Now I knew Sierra. I was like, if I ever see Sierra again, she gonna hurt me. But she went to a different high school anyway. So get on the school bus. I'm like, oh shoot, she didn't get on the bus this morning. I was like, what did I do? Hope she ain't sick. Get on the bus, and my whole day went by kind of smooth. It was so weird. Like Brittany stayed out of my path. We knew each other's schedules and stuff like that. Brittany stayed out of my path. I tried to stay out of her way, obviously. So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to make it home. It's cool. I go to my locker at the end of the day, and all this stuff that I had gave Brittany, all them little gifts my mom was helping me buy, all that stuff fell out of my locker. I'm like, yo, I didn't even know a chick knew my locker combination, bro. I'm like, what? I pull all this stuff out, and it's like kind of embarrassing. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this stuff? So there was this teddy bear, gave it for Valentine's Day, because I made it that far. I made it from at least Christmas until like Valentine's Day, then a little bit further. So I did it for like 4, maybe up to 6 months before it all crashed down. It didn't last long. It was really long, honestly, to be holding up two chicks at one time. The bear I looked at the bear. Instead of where it said "I love you," she like cut the bear up, like chopped the eyes out, all kinds of stuff. Like she was like, you could tell she had a knife or something. She like murdered the bear that said "I love you," and that junk she crossed out the words "love" and put the F word on it and all that stuff. In my dumb behind, I'm sitting here. It looked like something out of a movie. Like my sad behind, I'm sitting here with the bear holding it with my book bag on the bus home. Like, oh, I don't know why I'm taking the bear home. For some reason, I just didn't throw it away at the school. I took the bear. I'm on the bus and I'm holding the bear. Like what? And yeah. So I would say that's the closest thing I came to like a girl trying to ruin my life. But they had it out for me. They was really mad. Long story short, Brittany, when I saw her when we graduated high school, and I had a girlfriend at the time, close to when I had got my body right. And believe it or not, once I got my body right and I met her as an adult, she was with her boyfriend, who's her husband now. She was happy to see me. I don't know why. We saw each other. It was on a movie date. She said, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" I said, "Yeah, that's my girlfriend." And she said, "Yeah, that's my boyfriend." And she was like happy. She gave me a hug and everything. I'm like, oh, okay. And funny enough, the other girl, Sierra, when I was in college, one day I was just driving on the street in our local city, and I'm playing some music, chilling in the car, and I hear a girl screaming out my name. I look to the right. It's Sierra. She's at a stoplight beside me. And she's like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like she's happy to see me too. I'm like, "Yo, why are they all I mean, time had passed, but I'm like, why are they happy to see me?" So at the time, man, yeah, I didn't have good conversation game. I didn't have good conversation game at those times. Most of that was based on whatever those women thought about how I looked physically, and then social status. To believe it or not, but I started developing conversation game over time. You have a solid physique, brother. How long did your body gain transformation take from 145 to 175 pounds? Yep, we actually went through that whole story a little bit earlier, G7G. Shout out to you for the comment. So yeah, when I started, I was 145. My first month, I failed to gain any weight. After that, my next month, I made sure I ate 2,700 calories, gained 10 pounds. Um, and then, and then after that, I upped my calories for like 3 to 4 months, and then I actually shot over that weight. No, that's right. I said 30 pounds earlier. Yeah, I actually put on 30 pounds, and it was about a span of 4 to 5 months of me actually being on point, tracking my calories, working out. I put on 30 pounds in less than 6 months. Now, I guarantee you, I wasn't lean though. I wasn't lean with it when I put on the 30 pounds because it's literally gonna be impossible to put on 30 pounds of just straight muscle. That is very unnatural that you're gonna do that. So I actually had a lot of body fat added on with it that I had to lose some of that, but it wasn't where I looked bad either. Like I looked amazing to a lot of people. That's why they were asking me so many questions every day. They were asking me so many questions that they started telling me that I need to be a trainer. And yeah, and you missed the part earlier when I said there was even women at my job that knew my girlfriend at the time, and they were still trying to talk to me. One girl, she came up to me one day after work while I'm waiting for my girlfriend. I think something happened where me and my girlfriend were riding together. I'm waiting for my girlfriend to get off work or come pick me up while because we carpooled or something that day. And the girl's sitting outside. The girl that knows my girlfriend, she's like, "Hey, you ever train people?" I said, "Nah, I just work out by myself." She's like, "Well, you'll help me work out?" She's like, "You willing to come to my house?" I was like, Why would I need to come to your house to train you? Why don't you just get a gym membership? Like you come to the gym. I'll show you some stuff. She's like, "Well, blah blah blah, I got these excuses. Can you come to my house and train me?" I'm looking her up and down. I'm like, "You don't even look like you want to train for real." In my head, I'm thinking that. But yeah, man, that girl tried to get me to come to her house. And I'm like, "I know you know my girlfriend. This is a different girl than that other one I mentioned earlier." I said, "I know you know my girlfriend." Like this happens all the time. That's why the videos I got on my channel, I'm not lying. A lot of the situations, the women know the other woman that I'm talking to currently. They know the person. Sometimes they are friends with the person. In one of my stories on my channel, the girl that I was talking to, When I broke up with her, she introduced me to her cousin. Her cousin started trying to hang out with me every day. And both of them got mad at each other because they're both trying to hang out with me, her cousin. And all because she introduced me to her cousin. Her cousin like, yo, he's pretty dope, he's pretty cool or whatever. Like, women are your word of mouth. They market for you. I don't know why. There's just something about women. Just they know you got a girl. They be wanting to see what you gonna do. But like I said, that situation in high school where I cheated on those two girls at the same, I was dating those two girls at the same time. That was literally the only time I did that. I learned my lesson from that. That was so traumatic and stressful that I said, you know what, I'm never gonna do this trying to sneak around thing again. So I learned at a young age where that's what a lot of men probably don't get. They don't learn a lesson from stuff. They just mess up and then keep thinking I'm gonna get away. Same thing like when people commit crimes. Like you can commit a crime and you're just like, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna get this bag again and they ain't gonna catch me this time. I just was like, nah. I was being very logical. I say, I messed up. I did this little situation in high school where I was trying to date two girls at once. It didn't work out, and I don't even see that working out in the future, not in a dishonest way. So I ain't do it no more. So that's why when I had a girlfriend, these other girls coming at me, I'm like, I ain't about to take the bait. Because one thing you gotta remember, as a man, like you sleep with a chick, and if it's random, one night or whatever, it ain't gonna equal to nothing in the end. It don't really equal to nothing like that. After them 30 seconds up, or them 3 minutes or whatever, 15 minutes, however, and you go back to normal, and you realize I ain't even need that. Like it's fun when it's happening, yeah, but you haven't have enough experience though. You gotta keep dealing with multiple, before you start to realize that for yourself. All right, so you say, I hear you, man. I went from 125 to 145 in 4 months, eating a small calorie surplus. That's a good way to do it. You say my arms started toning up, and females at work started feeling on my arms and throwing out little comments about my muscles. Yep, that is exactly what happened. I said the same thing earlier, G7. Same thing. Yep, at work. They start feeling on your arms. Ooh, how you get them arms? What you been doing? Yep, said the same thing, G7. That's right. So they start feeling on your muscles. You said body game is legit, and I ain't even swole nor crazy lean yet. Yeah, man, that's why I say it gets crazy. Just because you a little bit above average, man, sometimes that's all it needs for some people to notice you. Like in where I grew up, most people overweight to be honest. So like if I went to the beach where I grew up, I'd be the only one on the beach that got abs. So now I stand out, even if I don't look better than most, like the people you might see on the internet or something. Just because I got abs and all the other people in are big, like round bellies at the beach. Now everybody looking at me. So now that's actually going to raise the woman's social status when they with me, because now all eyes on both of us now, because they're like, dang, who's that man and who's the girl that got him? They looking at both of us. And that's why women be wanting that too, because now they know you're going to attract the right attention to the whole relationship. So yeah, man, they start feeling on you. They say, "Yup, that's what happens." I said the same thing happened to work. Another female feeling on my arms. Knew who my girlfriend was. Knew her very well. And it was like, "Hey, man, your arms are big." She even cussed with it. We at work. She's cussing like, "Man, your arms big as." I'm like, "Hey, man, you got back up." I like you looking too good. I might make a mistake. I said I might make a mistake because I've been kind of looking at you. Yep, they started. So G7, you saying that they started calling you over to their departments to carry stuff. Open. Yep, they do stuff like that. They're like, oh, Mr. Muscles. Let me stop shaking this. Day. They're like, oh, Mr. Muscles, I can't open anything. Can you open this for me, Mr. Muscles? That's exactly what they do. And you be looking at them, you kind of like, I know you can open that. That's a letter, ma'am. That's a letter. I know you can open a letter. I can't open the envelope. Can you open it for me, Mr. Muscles? And then you saw you be all shivers. Yes, ma'am, I surely can. Open a letter. Give it back to him. There you go. So yeah, they will act helpless. And that's what you want, man. That's actually feminine submissiveness right there. People act like they don't know what it looks like. They say that they don't see it. You see all these videos, they say that women aren't that way. That's what it looks like actually. When a woman's acting helpless like that, that's the classic old oops, I dropped my handkerchief. I dropped my handkerchief. Right there is the invitation to I'm willing to be submissive. I'm gonna pretend to be helpless because I just need you, big man. All right, G7, you say this is dangerous because I'm trying not to get burned out at work, but I already dipped my pen in company ink. What does that mean, man? What does that mean? You already dipped your pen in company ink. All right, this is dangerous. I don't know if maybe we should find out what that means or not. Shout out though to everybody watching the stream. If you're enjoying it, please donate to the Cash App. Go ahead and actually support the stream in another way, or at least put a thumbs up on the video, so that way I know that you're enjoying this type of content, or you at least want to see another live stream like this. Maybe we can go over some other topics because I won't be on here all night. I mean, we've been chilling for about good hour and a half. So I'm gonna be on here a little bit longer, but definitely I need to know if you like this enough for me to even continue doing this because this use up my time. So time is very, very precious. But I appreciate everybody being in here and sharing those chats with me. Shout out to everybody. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that dipped in the pen and the ink is all about. So we're gonna move on from some interactions from women because I got stories for days on that, but I'll at least share you that story. Let's move on to our third topic for tonight. And that one's gonna be, let's see what did I even put on the thumbnail? Body game. We talked about body game already, which you can send your questions there for me. Body game, interactions with women, which I already shared a few stories about interaction with women. I shared about how social status is where I got started. I didn't actually have the strongest mouthpiece in the beginning as far as like learning how to speak to women, but definitely has improved a whole lot now. And over time, I give you more and more of that progression, so that way you can see how I improve. Because like I said, I got stories for days, all anecdotal evidence. So that's what I'm saying. Most of the stuff I'm talking about, all the stuff I'm talking about, is experience. It's not something that I just watched a YouTube video. It's not a YouTube video stuff that I watch and then I'm just spitting it back out at you. I'm telling you real stories from my life. All right, so G7, you say, oh, that's what I figured. Okay, okay, I figured. I just was trying to make sure. I ain't never heard the terminology before, but G7, you're saying, yeah, it's just when you deal with coworkers and you earn. All right, so now you said dealing with coworkers. Yeah, man. Whew, that's a rough one. I don't know if you should really be dealing with coworkers like that, man. Unless you don't plan to work on there long. Like I remember I worked a job at a grocery store one time, and I knew I wasn't gonna stay there. It was a part-time job, so I was like, yeah, man, I could dip my pen in some ink around here because I ain't even gonna be here long. So yeah. Now you said, have you heard of G7? You're saying, have you heard of supplements such as Tone Cat Ali and Fida? I don't even know how to pronounce that to help boost testosterone. No, I don't look a lot. I don't look into a lot of supplements, man. I don't really research and use a bunch of supplements. I did in the beginning because I thought I had to, because when you look on the internet, you see bodybuilders and fitness influencers using supplements and they talk about all the different benefits. Over time, though, as I improved the way that I built my own meal plans, I took pride in let me just eat all the food that I need and just go with that. So I eventually transitioned myself to just eating all the food to get what I need and didn't rely on supplements as much. But yeah, I would be interested to hear you share some more about that in the future. But I don't feel like there's a reason to boost your testosterone, especially if you're at a certain age. I don't know what age you're at. I'm in my 30s, so I don't think it's right now. It's not a time for me to do it. I see my body's still in looks like a decent shape for whatever level of testosterone I have now. My body probably looks better than it did in my 20s. So I'll keep an eye on it though. Maybe, check up with a doctor and see if I ever need to boost testosterone. But I don't know how real some of these supplements are if they do what they say they are gonna do. But yeah, maybe I'll look that up though. So yeah, now, like I said, the third topic, man, is how to run your life like a business. And this is an important topic. So we're getting into some success now. We talked about the fitness game and talked about your body, guys. We talked about women a little bit because I know you're interested in that. But women are definitely not, it probably should be the least important thing in your life. If you listen to those stories from earlier, all the women came to me when I was just focused on doing things for myself. And that is going to segue into the third topic for tonight, running your life like a business. And the reason I want to bring this up is because, like, from my interactions with talking and dealing with people, a common thing I see, especially on something like Facebook, where you're in a community of more people that you probably know, is where people complain when, think about when somebody opens a business. and they start complaining on Facebook or something. They say, "Oh man, nobody support certain people don't support my business," or "I can't believe nobody's sharing my post, but they'll share this comedy and stuff." Um, and the thing is, man, you got to realize if you're running your a business, most people are not going to care as much as you. Why would they? Why would they care about your business more than you? Is what I'm going to say. It doesn't make sense. It's not even logical. That's the same thing I'm talking about with your life. When you have certain goals that you're trying to reach, it could be business or it can be fitness, it could be anything. Some people get mad that other people are not supporting them on their journey to whatever they're doing. They're not supporting my business. My family's supposed to be supporting me. My friends are supposed to be. Why would they care as much as you? It's okay. Some people will care, but you got to be the one that cares the most out of anybody. And that's just the way it's going to be. You got to be okay with that because it just makes sense. It's like, do you care more about somebody else's life more than they do? You probably don't, but that's okay. That should be normal. So why is it expected to be the other way around? And that's the same way when you open a business. You open a business, you think you're going to hire an employee, and that employee is going to care more about your business success more than you. Think about any job you have worked. If you ever worked a job, you work for a big company, you think that you care more about the company. You know you don't. You know you don't care more about the company than the CEO or the person that created the company. You think any Microsoft employee cares more about Microsoft than, let's say, Bill Gates or something. No, why would they? And people gotta remember that when you're doing your own stuff. You're doing your own thing. Hey, do your own thing. If what you're doing is good, people will shout it out. People will talk about it. That's the reason why a lot of restaurants, like the best restaurants in town, don't even have commercials. They don't have a lot of advertisements. Like that's why you have these niche restaurants. You think of a restaurant in your city, you know a restaurant right now in your city that if someone was asking like, "Yo, where's the best place to get some food?" You're gonna shout out that restaurant. And that restaurant might not even have probably never seen a commercial or anything. It could have literally been word of mouth on how you found out the restaurant. They say, "Where you found this?" "Oh, so and so told me about it," or "Everybody's been talking about it." And that's the same thing. You running a business. If your product's good or what you selling is good, people gonna talk about it regardless. And you got to stop getting mad at that. You thinking people ain't pushing my stuff out there because they don't support me. Well, why would they support something that's not good? You got to take accountability and realize I got to focus on how to make this thing good, how to make it better. There's something that is wrong with this. Or maybe you need to learn marketing. Maybe you need to learn how to market on the internet, market other places. Maybe you need to learn other strategies, such as selling. Maybe you need to learn how to sell. There's other things, and that's how you got to run your life too. Don't sit here and think that other people are going to care about your problems as much as you do. Why would they? They're living a whole different life. They're living a whole different body. They got problems too. Do you care about theirs more than they care about their own problems? No. And that's why running your life like a business, man. You the king. You the one that cares the most. You're gonna have to put in the most effort, no matter what it takes. You're not gonna get anybody that's just gonna jump into your life and just start making it better because they got a great heart. People will care. I'm not saying they won't. People will care, but never, 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 never expect them to care more than you do. And it's supposed to be that way. And really, if you focus on yourself and you care more about yourself, you can put yourself in a position where then you can give back to others. You will have more to give. Like when you don't have nothing, how are you going to help somebody else anyway? Like if I didn't have these experiences in life and stuff, if I didn't go through none of this stuff, then I wouldn't be able to give you some of this knowledge based on experience. I would have nothing to give if I didn't get anything already for myself. I had to go through some things for myself, and you got to do the same thing. Like you're gonna have to build yourself up, and then you can start providing value to others, and stop worrying about everybody just giving you stuff just because you think you deserve it. When you really do deserve it, you're gonna start getting it. That's just the way the world works. And if you're not getting it, then you haven't found the right way to put yourself out there yet, so other people can see you. You haven't found the right way. So you got to take accountability. It's all on you. It's all on you. You got to figure it out. You got to say, what am I doing different? What am I not doing? How can I get myself out there more? Um, if I'm Running my life like a business, how do I market myself? Think about that. If you are the business, how do you market yourself? How do you manage yourself? How do you manage your own time? Do you live your life on a schedule? And I mean like a real schedule, not a schedule that is set up before you because you're like a 9 to 5 worker or anything. I'm talking about what do you do outside of that, even if you are a 9 to 5 worker? How do you have your schedule set up for what you would call your free time? Your free time should never really be all of that free time. It should be, I already know what I'm going to be doing around this and this time. I already know what my plans are, what my goals are. That's why when I hang out with people, they have to slot themselves in. Even if it is a weekend or whatever, like you only can get in on the slots that I have available because there's going to be a time chunked out for YouTube. Obviously, like I'm working on YouTube now. Like most women won't be able to see me that want to hang out with me because oh, I gotta spend this much time to at least record a video or do whatever. And if you don't fit in this schedule, you just will not be able to see me. I'm sorry. Like my success or my things that I care about come first. We can have fun and hang out whenever the time's right, we can get to that. And that's what you got to do. You're gonna have to prioritize yourself, and that goes back to body game as well. When it comes to body game, that's the same thing I had to do. I locked myself in my own world. I locked myself in my own world, working on body game. Had my head down for 3 months with nobody even knowing what I was doing. Most people didn't know I was even working out at all until they started seeing the results. Like the only person that knew, like I said, was my girlfriend. That was because she lived with me. She saw how many times I was going to the gym. She saw when I was preparing my meals. She didn't even know to the extent that I was going to get to these goals. I didn't even tell her everything I was doing. And that's what you gotta do. Sometimes just get out there, do what you need to do. Put your head down. Don't think anybody's just going to support you randomly just because you think your stuff is good. Like, I don't have an ego, man, when it comes to like this YouTube stuff. Like, I feel like I get whatever views I'm supposed to get, and I don't get mad. Like, a lot of people, you got these algorithm videos that's everywhere on social media where here's how to grow using this algorithm and all stuff. Look, if your video is just raw and real, your content or whatever, if people resonate with it, it's going to move regardless. That's really how the internet works. If your stuff is something people enjoy or get somebody out of it, it's gonna move regardless. That's with anything. Even if you're selling a product, if it's legit, it's gonna move itself eventually. Yes, it is important to learn how to market. It is important to put yourself in positions to succeed. At the same time, though, your stuff is gonna move itself. That's why I'll look at this stuff. I used to remember when I first started trying to learn how to do videos. You can look at a video and I'll say, man, this video is about to do good. I spent a lot of time talking about this one and all that stuff. And then I'll see the video, it might like get like not a lot of views. It get under 100 views, and I'm like, dang, that was the one. This I thought this video was good. Truthfully, the video ain't good. The video was not good if it didn't resonate with that many people, because you can see your stats. You can see how many people had a chance to look at the video. You can see how many people stayed looking at the video, and I want you to translate that into your own life. If you aren't getting the results that you think you should be getting, it's because you're not doing something, or probably you aren't consistent enough. You got to do it longer. And I've seen that for many times with people dieting. They'll do something for like 2 weeks. It don't work. They stop or they change it up. And I'm like, 2 weeks, they ain't long enough. They ain't long enough for your body to figure out what you've been doing. You got to put in more work than that. Like, you got to be consistent enough to know if it really works. And with most things, 2 weeks ain't going to tell you nothing. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. You're going to want to quit because we so used to microwave results now. We want everything instant, like popcorn. And that's just not it. Occasionally, yeah, you're going to see people, if you're talking about social media, yeah, you're going to see people that seem to blow up overnight. But most of the time, believe it or not, these people have been posting content for a while. It's very rare for somebody to just blow up out of nowhere when they post their first video or something. And you look at that stuff like that, you think, ah, that's what I deserve. Why? Why do you deserve it? You don't want that because now you don't learn nothing anyway. If you get any type of success fast, you just gonna blow it anyway. Think about a lottery winner. A lottery winner, how many of the lottery winners actually keep their money? How many of them are actually rich, learned about investment, and multiplied their money? And think about that. Find, look up the statistics or whatever you want to find. These lottery winners is because they just got it instantly. They ain't have no build up. They didn't have to learn anything to get to it. So there's no way they're going to know how to keep it because they didn't learn anything to know about to like how to acquire it. And that's the same thing with what your goals are. If you spend the time to learn how to do it, it's going to be so much easier for you to have it for a longer period of time because even if you had to go back to zero, you already know how to get past zero now. Easily. You learned it. You built yourself up to it. It's etched into your aura as a person. And that's the same thing, man. Like with when it comes with body game, working out, going back to that. Same thing. You just gotta be locked in. Any other questions though? I don't see nobody sitting in the chat. Let me know if y'all soaking this game up. You got any questions about anything I'm saying? Appreciate y'all watching, like I said, and don't forget donate to the Cash App if you love the stream, you supporting what I'm doing here, and you want to see some more live streams like this. All right, now we just vibing, we just talking, and if you missed some of the other parts of the live stream, we already went over body game for skinny guys in the beginning. Sometimes I have come back to it throughout the stream, but I'll see if I can put timestamps on the videos once the stream is over. And also, we did go into a little bit of discussion of interactions with women. We talked earlier about how to use confidence and also getting social status, building up your social status in order so that women will actually come to you once you build up your social status. And eventually, we'll get to some more conversations on how to build yourself up talking to women. Because for me, I'm going to speak from my own experience. That was not the main focus for me when I started dating at a young age or dealing with women as a teenager. Most of it came from social status for me. So that is a little bit different experience for me. And like I say, mostly everything in the channel is going to come from my own experience. Every now and then I will reference other things if I've gotten it from other places. Like I did shout out Ron Wills earlier. That's where the term body game, that's where I got that from. Like I said, I don't even know if he came up with it or not. But I know some of you have watched his channel as well. So definitely big ups to him. I will have definitely I love a lot of his content. He's pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I think if nobody else has anything, I'm probably gonna end the stream so I don't end up babbling. You notice a lot of my videos, I don't go too long. This actually has been pretty fun going for an hour and a half, and I didn't even know how long I was gonna do this stream, but maybe we'll do this again. Like I say, just put a like on the video, support the channel, and no other questions. I'm out, man. No other questions. We'll give it about a minute or two. Damn, bro. Know the baby boy. What's good, man? You say, damn, bro. I ain't know you was in your 30s. You look 22. Yeah, man. That is a common thing, man. I get a lot of compliments. Good live stream. I appreciate it. Yeah, I get a lot of compliments, bro, where I meet women all the time and they be trying to come too. Once they smell it and they say, "Oh, he ain't young as he look. He mature." Once they see it, man, they be on it, man. So yeah, I always like that though. I think it's because my facial hair has never really grown, bro, and it's okay at the same time. It's never really grown, and that's what kind of helps with that. I've always had a young face. When I was in my 20s, people thought maybe I was still like in college, even after way after I graduated college. Most people think I'm like in my 20s. You say 22 though. That's probably the lowest that I heard in a while. But yeah, man, I'm about to be 34, man. I'm or something like that. I don't know the math, man, but yeah, I'm getting close to the mid 30s, man, but still looking good, man. Like I said earlier, my body at this point, body game is at the peak right now, more than when I was in my 20s. I didn't start working out until I was 22 actually. So 22 or 23, one of those. I said it earlier too. So y'all might have to go back on the replays to get all the story if you weren't in here from the beginning. But I appreciate you saying that the live stream was good, bro. I appreciate that. This is my first time ever doing this, so hopefully we get more of these. Really, I'm just gonna jump on here. Sometimes I'll try to give y'all a little heads up though. I'll try to give you a little heads up so that way I just don't jump on here. But like, long as you subscribe, you got the notifications on, everything should be good, man. Everything should be good. Y'all pop in. Uh, Other than that, shout out, man. Appreciate it. I'm out.